now that you're properly motivated, we're going to ask our head counselor, Dr. Yoshida, to talk about how we can take everything we've done in these last 3 years and extract the most valuable information to present to colleges in your application and your essay. Let's welcome Dr. Yoshida.
Hello, my name is Yoshida. I'm the head counselor here. I've been a serial counselor for over 10 years. I'm very old. And today I think I have students from all different grades, so I will go quickly over what it takes to complete a very complete application form. Because the first step to get into college is have a complete application form. And while it sounds easy, actually there's a lot that needs to go into the application, and that needs to be built from day one. High school begins. You have to step by step build everything so that you have a completely filled out application form, no one place blank. So I'll mostly base my information and talks on UCs, but if you're ready to get into top UCs, you're also ready to apply to other colleges. Okay, so during high school, like Mr. Johnson said, you need to find your passion, you need to find your strengths, and you need to find your strengths in two areas. One is in academics, and the other one is your personal quality. Each student is different. Maybe you're very good at teaching other people. Maybe you are good at music. It doesn't matter. Whichever one fits you best, you find that and you work on it. And then, after you find the right path, you need to work on it, but sometimes it's very difficult to find that path. So what can you do? You have a very good resource at College Board where you can read about many different paths you can take, many different careers. And there's also, one thing I want to say is when you are trying to find your passion, find your path, find what interests you, not because your parents tell you to do it. Or someone else says, well, you should go into computer science because the money is there. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay? So that, and also money and prestige, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer. That's where the money is, that's where the fame is. But if you don't belong into that field, you don't belong in that field. I want you to find a field where you can be comfortable, you can be fueled to be better and be happy, and also make enough to have a nice family, household. And again, also, I do not want you to limit yourself. So it's talent. Just because you're talented in programming, talented in mathematics, very good in writings, that doesn't mean that will lead you to success. You really have to like it, and you really want to be wanting to commit yourself to that field. So this is where the Explore Your Careers in the College Board site. And this is a website of Business Insider that lists 25 highest paying jobs. I just say don't go for money, go for what you like. But I would like to check this because there are many different areas already in computer science related or mechanical engineering related field. So those subcategories could be your niche. So I would like you to go over it and see what kind of different career paths are available and what you need to do to get there. Top one is data scientist now. Okay. Now, what goes into the application? This is for UC applications. I just mentioned the best application is a complete application. No area left blank. So on the UC applications, we have coursework and grades. You need to self-report, including the 12th grade coursework. So the 12th grade coursework, how many honor classes you're taking, how many AP classes you're taking, how many classes directly related to what you want to do you are taking. It's going to matter. Pre-college SAT and ACT scores, you need to send all SATs and ACTs you have taken to UCs. They would only look at the highest ones. SAT 2 are not required. Nonetheless, it's the rule that you have to send all test scores. So you like to go take the test when you're very prepared, get high scores. Now many of the top colleges I know are removing that requirement for SAT taking. So I've been getting students asking me, do I have to take SAT test? The answer is, they say they may not require it, but they're not prohibiting you from taking it. So, and UC is still requiring it. So yes, you should take it because it's one factor you could show your strengths lies. So, until such day that card says, we prohibit you from taking SAT. If you take SAT, we disqualify you. You should be ready to take SAT. And SAT subject test in math, physics, chemistry, biology, if you're going for STEM areas. If you're going for humanities, be prepared to take SAT to history, which is pretty easy after AP history, US history, and SAT language, literature. Pre-college experience. This is an experience outside of your high school, classes you have taken, any summer camps focused on one particular area. There is a specific area on your application form to put this in. You don't want to leave this area blank. So throughout the 3 summers in your high school, you won't have a good experience building up going to 1-week camp, 2 weeks camp, to 6-week research camp, so that you can put something substantial in this area to make it stand out. Non-A to G class. So UC requires you to review A to G classes to qualify to apply to UC. And that may be different from your high school's graduation requirement. This is just what makes you qualify for UCs. So those are basic courses in mathematics, science, English, and social sciences and language requirement. So anything that doesn't fit there is called non-A to G. There's a specific area to list your courses. If you have taken any online classes that either gives you credit or do not give you credit, that could qualify for A to G classes. You like to have a couple of those classes there to show that you have explored your intellectual horizon. Work experience. Work experience, not many students have it. That's one area it's okay not to have it. But many students actually tutor and get paid. If you babysit and get paid, that's work. You can put it there. Because the whole reason to see it that being paid means you are assuming that responsibility for payment. They would like to know if you are independent, mature, young adult who can take that responsibility in exchange with your payment. And if you're working for a long, extended time, make sure that you get a work permit from your high school to make sure that you're not doing anything illegal. Extracurricular activities and community services. On UC applications, there are 5 extracurricular activities you can list. This means anything you do. School clubs, outside of school what you do, your hobby. If cleaning the house is like what you like to do, you can even put cleaning house activities. I do. 6 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. That's fine. And so anything you do goes here. Community service goes by the organization. So there are also 5 places to put it, and it's by the organization. So if you only did it at one place, you only have one thing to list. So actually having 5 is not that easy because you have to juggle your time with other things and still go to 5 different places to do it. So in order to have a fully complete application form, you need to explore your academic opportunities outside of school. It can be conferences, summer camps, it can be just a few days seminar focused on one particular topics. All these qualify for that. And then you need to reach outside of your campus community and your family, get into the community, travel outside, go to different states, just get yourself engaged in, just get out of this little bubble from Silicon Valley. And then, just like Dr. Johnson said, you need time to reflect on yourself. After all these activities you did, what happened? In the first place, why did I do it? And after I did it, did I change? Did I find out that this is really what I like? Or did I find out this is what I don't like? So you need time to reflect. So I suggest that if you are 9th graders, 8th graders, a younger student, every time you do something, keep a little journal before you forget. And just keep it on your side until such day when you are ready to apply to colleges. Those little journals would come very handy when you are writing essays. Alright, so let's look at UC Berkeley. This goes for almost all UCs, but I just picked up UC Berkeley application review because it's the most vigorous one. Because the GPA is only based on A to G classes. But there's a trick to it. You can take a UC transferable college class that we counted as honor class level. So during the summer, you can take the answer class to add up a little bit to your GPA. Then they look at personal qualities. They would really want is leadership quality, intellectual independence, and then this one, demonstrated concern for others, community service, and likely contribution to the campus, broad range of intellectual interests. Just means you have to go and explore more. Don't take classes that you like. If you, let's say, there's a student right now writing a very good essay about history because this student didn't like history. But not liking history, she found out that she cannot engage in conversations with other student, friend who likes history. So she decided to challenge herself, take AP history. She liked it. That's one thing that you could show to widen your intellectual horizon. So that's what they're looking for. Sustained achievement in any field means you've been doing it for a long time, not just 6 months, 1 semester. You are in the club for all 3 years. You are engaged in your music pursuit for 10 years of your life. Anything that you've been doing for a very long time is what they really like. Because it shows your commitment, it shows your passion, and by there you have a lot to say in your essays to make you stand out. Alright. UC now gives 8 personal insight questions. You need to answer 4 of them. And personally, this made application very difficult compared to before when they only had 2 essays, 1,000 word each, because 1,000 word each, 1,000 word total, 500 word each. 500 word essay gives you a little bit room to say something more about yourself, more in depth, and add a little bit creativity. But now it's only 350 words. There's not much space to say much. All you can say is what you did, how you did it, why you did it, in a very, very straightforward manner. But that's exactly what they're looking for. So, answer 4 days. I'll give you all 8 questions here, and I do not expect these questions to change anytime soon. So by the time when you are applying to UCs, it will probably still be those questions. And if they change, that's okay. If you can answer these questions, that means your profile is pretty good. So, number 1, describe an example of your leadership experience. This tells you right away, leadership is very important for this college. Number 2 is creative side, how you express your creative side. That doesn't have to be performance in music or art. It can be problem solving. It can be the way you take care of your little brother. You have a very naughty brother. You have to take care of the little brother because the parents are away on business. That's fine. That's also one way to show your creativity. Number 3, what is your greatest talent or skill? It's not so much about your talent or skill. What is important is how you demonstrate it. So how do you demonstrate it? You have to have your own ways, unique ways to show it. That's what they're looking for here in this essay. Number 4 is describe how you have taken advantage of a significant educational opportunity, summer camp, college course, online course, any of these. Number 5 is a popular one. Describe the most significant challenge. So, it's not so much about the challenge you had. You had a very difficult teacher, you are not picked for JV team, you're hurt, or you got injured. Yes, all those are challenges, difficulties, but what they're looking for is the steps you have taken to overcome it. It's the steps that matters. So 350 essays, students want to explain more like how I got injured, how that student, teacher, particular teacher was difficult, made my grade go down. That's not the detail they want. The detail they want is what did you do to make it better? The steps. Number 6, describe your favorite academic subject and explain how it has influenced you. So it's not so much about the subject itself. What did you learn from it? By taking that subject, how did your life change? It's your influence that you want to show. Number 7 is also a popular one, and everyone should be writing this one. What have you done to make your school or community a better place? So what can you do to help others? What contribution can you make to UC campuses? That's what they're looking for. You really want to answer this question out of those choices. Number 8 is a little difficult. What is the one thing that you think sets you apart from other candidates? It's wide open, broad. This is not some topic that we highly recommend because it's very difficult to write. You should stick with number 1 to 7. Okay. On these essays, you need to show your intellectual vitality, talking about the subject you like, emotional maturity, something happened. And I overcome the challenge. How did you emotionally grow from a child to a young adult? Process of personal growth, and what steps did you take to make it happen? How do you interact with other students, other people in the community, in the diverse community at the Bay Area? Ability to lead others and resolve conflict. In your club, did you have a personal conflict? How did you resolve it? And a desire to commit to contribute for greater good. It's not so much that you wanted to do this community service, but more like you wanted to do something for this particular group. You need to show that passion. Special skills and talent in the form of sustained interest. Like if you've been doing music for a long time, playing martial art for a long time, playing badminton for a long time, those would be a very good topic. And then in all of these essays, you need to include just one sentence, a view about your future. This is what happened in my life, and this is what I would like to get. This is where I want to go to. This is my goals in life. This is what I see myself in 5 years or 10 years. So I like to show you. Any questions up to this point? No? So now I would like to show you, because we are going through this essay writing process now with 12th graders, and many students are asking us, I want to make my essay stand out. I want to make my essay very creative, unique. Great, you can do that. But the most important thing is not there. Be honest. Tell a very honest story that is very realistic, that only you can tell. Your experience doesn't have to be a unique one. It can be just something that happened in your household on an everyday basis. It's your perception, it's your view that makes it special. So this is one of the bad examples for UC essays. What did you do? Topic 7, for the community. I have been volunteering at the local library since 9th grade. Right there is a problem. Local library, where? In what city? We need to know. Did you do it in a local library in China, or was it in Cupertino? There's a big difference right there. You need to give the facts, because what UC is looking for is the fact. Okay? So I enjoyed it. I met different people. I did different things in the library. During the school year, I had book sales where I helped, but how did you help? Nothing is mentioned. And then, special summer camp for elementary school children. It was a reading camp, and I enjoyed it. Kids were energetic. It was difficult to control them. Nonetheless, I enjoyed it. So this essay, 350 words, but it doesn't say anything more than what you said already in the application form, in the community service section, library volunteer. You want to add more to it. So, as a volunteer for Sherwood Library, I have done many different things, but my focus is the summer camp. I really want to talk about the summer camp for kids, because that was a significant experience for me where I learned how to take care of other people, how to engage in a younger generation, and how to lead them to be a better reader. So, how did she do it? Okay, we read books, Carnival at Candlelight, Falling Up, give some facts, give some specific terms for the readers to understand. And then I had this kid, Jonathan. Jonathan was a painfully shy kid who couldn't get along with other kids, but I am the one who caught that and helped Jonathan to enjoy the camp more. So that's a significant contribution you did. Even though it's just one student you help, but it is a significant contribution in the life of that child. That's what you want to tell to UCs, and that's how you want to cater your essays to fit for what UC is looking for. Okay. And then if you want to add creativity, there are ways to do it. So this is what the student gave me. He was a dancer. I started dancing in 8th grade, and then it became a very important part of my life. So I danced more. Dancing has become my passion and a way to rejuvenate myself. Yes, but in what way? We don't know from reading this. We can change it. Okay, I'm gonna do a knee drop, quote 45. I actually practiced because I wanted to know how the student feel. And breakdancing, it only looks like I'm banging my knee down, but blah, 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 and say, dancing is an integral part of my life. Why is it so integral? Because then the real nice part follows after this. But this type of a little bit spicy introduction would get the reader's attention because UC's admission readers only have a few minutes to go over your essays. This was a student who was enthusiastic about mathematics. He did compete in mathematics, but he ended up going to Princeton. But he did compete in mathematics, but he wasn't a very strong math competitor in the sense that he went to AMC, he went to AME, then he qualified for beyond that, and he was a top 10 math read in the United States. But how he showed his strengths was, yes, I may myself not have been the top math lead, but I love math. I want other people to be the top math lead. And that's where I belong to. I'm helping younger children to get more excited and interested in mathematics. So he's talking about how he was tutoring mathematics. I had the opportunity to tutor mathematics to children at a local math learning center. That's fine. This is fine. But it's a little bit boring. We added all in the life of numbers because mathematics is numbers. And those little kids helping the future Sherlocks, formula cracking kids. That's what I'm doing. I am teaching to kids to unlock the real world of mathematics by teaching them numbers and formulas in a fun way. And then, so since this was, the beginning was about Sherlock Holmes, ending was about Sherlock Holmes, showing that he's very well read and also enjoys teaching mathematics to kids. That's where his passion is. And so this is just a few of the examples. If you like to see more examples, I have collections over 10 years, a lot of them. But the trick is not to read other people's essays too much, because I have students who find online essays that have been submitted to different colleges by students who've been accepted, but that worked for that particular student. It's not for you. You have to find what works the best for you, and that's why we are here to consult with you in personal sessions, find your strengths, find what makes you the best candidate. And essay usually comes in combination with 2 or 3. Usually it's 4. Other colleges may have 3 to 5. When all these are put together, would that make you look like the best candidate they are looking for by that particular college? You need to balance that out. So it takes a little bit of time to plan, but it can be managed. That's why we are here for. So we have regular meetings with designated counselors, meaning once you sign up, your counselor doesn't change. One person will take care of you from beginning to the end. And we assist you with course selections. What course would be the best for you that makes you a rigorous student at the same time being able to manage. And GPA boost, we have teachers who are very good, who knows about the situations in high schools in the area to help you. When you need to plan SAT and SAT, you need to plan very well. There are students who just like to take SATs, and just keep taking it. Every time they finish AP class, honor class, they take SAT. But College Board has this very strange rule. You can only send certain number of scores to colleges. Beyond that, they won't send it. So even if you have taken the SAT, there's no way to officially verify that you have that score. I don't know why they have that rule, but it's just a rule. You need to be careful. And also, SAT, don't wait until the last minute. Because if you want to do early action, early decision, you should be finished with SAT taking before you start your senior year. You can take it until December, they will allow it to you, but it should be finished before your senior year. So it takes planning. And prepare timetable, follow up with it. We need to prepare when you're doing what. So we have a timetable, particularly if in the 12th grade. How many colleges are applying? What's their deadline? What do you need to do? I have an Excel sheet for that. Deadlines, essay topics, what needs to be done, what you need to get from your school. And so I help you to find the best summer research or the best summer camp. If you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. I just don't want you to sit during the summer not doing anything. That's the worst thing that could happen to you. You just need to go and try different things. And after you try many different things, at the end of the day, you still don't know. That's perfectly fine. At least you can show, I tried, I did all this, I still haven't found anything that's really my passion. That's why I'm coming to college, because I want to find out. That's perfectly okay. And email correspondence is unlimited. I usually try to respond to my students' email within 24 hours. I'm up 24 hours, 7 days a week. So, literally, yeah. Okay. Any of these 11th graders or 12th graders? Okay, so the application, we try to optimize your application form for holistic review, meaning what activities you're going to put on the very top. What community service are you going to focus on? And what area of strengths you're going to focus on. We spend time to discuss it. And we have great SAT classes just in case if you want to take it one more time. Additional information. Okay, this is an important portion of the application. UCs and other colleges have additional information section. It's one whole page open. You can say anything you want to say. So you should be able to say something there. Additional meaning, I did great research, but I wasn't able to talk about it in my essay, but I'm going to talk about it here. I helped this student bring his math score from C to A, but I didn't talk about it in my essay because there are other things I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to put it in the additional information section. So we'll look at all of your essays, all what you have written in your application form, then decide what would be the best thing to include in the additional information section. We have a free kickoff class, interview practice during the summer. Another session is coming up in the fall. This is completely free for our student. It's a great class. And of course, essay should be individualized, so we don't have group sessions except for this kickoff class. Every student meet with me or other counselors one by one to go over all the essays and brainstorming. And we check everything for you. We work as a team. So if you're working with me, you're also working with the team of specialized teachers behind me. We all work together. Now, you also have to know about the colleges you want to apply to, and they're coming to this area. There will be an MIT session. Carnegie Mellon just ended their session. MIT is coming September 30th. You need to sign up. So you should go to the MIT admission website and say MIT in your area. There's a sign-up sheet there. There's a coast-to-coast college tour held by all these colleges together. That's on Sunday, September 30th. Ooh. So you have to go to this one and run to this one. So those are nice things to go if you're a junior and if you're a senior. Okay, so that's just a very quick review of what goes into your application form and what you should be doing to make the application complete and stand out strong and make it work for you, particularly you, because you have to stand out in your own way. Any questions?
Yeah, could you say a little bit about the Common App versus the Coalition App? What is the difference and which one would be better for what kind of student?
There is no difference, it's just Coalition is new. Common App has been going for a while. Because Coalition is new, not many school teachers are familiar with it, so they still encourage you to use Common Application. In terms of the differences, what goes inside the application form itself, there is no difference. The only difference is the essay. Essay topics is different, and length is different. So you can pick whichever one. So the best place is look at the essay topics. What I want to say works better for Common App, or would it work better for Coalition? But by the time you apply to 10 schools, some schools do not use Coalition, some schools only use Common App, then you end up having both. So, and another difference, Coalition, even if you're a ninth grader, you can create an account and start putting your information. But you can also do that using an Naviance, which you should be doing anyway. So Naviance is on your school site. If you don't know about Naviance, and I can answer those questions, so you can come and ask. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
For the UCs, I know you have to send the SAT score, but do you have to send the subject test scores as well?
All tests you have taken.
Okay.
So yes, if you have taken a SAT subject test, you need to send it. So that's fine because College Board is set such that you can just send everything together one price. And one thing you have to be careful with ACT is when you send the ACT score, you pay for each test you take. So you have to pay 3 times if you take ACT 3 times. That could be very costly by the time you're applying to 12 schools. So that's one thing about ACT. But there's another thing where ACT you can cancel the score after you see it so that there's nothing on your record. SAT you cannot cancel it after you see the score. That's the biggest difference probably between SAT and ACT.
And in SAT, you have to report every sitting. Let's say you have taken multiple SAT subject tests, like if you did physics twice. You have to report both sittings of physics twice?
On the application form, you only put the highest one.
Okay.
But when you send the score, everything goes together to UCs. That's just for UCs. For other colleges, and most colleges give you score choice, so you don't have to send everything if you don't want to.
They asked for weighted GPA or unweighted GPA, like so it's written it's your, some application it says it's your choice, whatever you want to fill in. So which one should we do?
For UCs, they will calculate your GPA. You just put what you got, A, B, C, D, F, on your application form. Then they will calculate it in their own way, and they would add 8, up to 8 for the 10th grade and 11th grade weighted GPA. For COMA application, you can choose. If you want to report weighted GPA, you can, which most students do. If you don't want, you can just put regular unweighted GPA, but you're sending your transcript anyway, so they will calculate it in their own way. So don't worry about that too much. Yes.
When do interviews happen? Because you said something about interviews.
Yes, college interviews.
Yeah.
College interviews, there are 2 ways to do it. One is, actually 3 ways. One is when the college actually encourage you to contact the admission and say, I want interviews. And then you should do that before you submit your application. Other colleges who don't say anything, once you submit, they will contact you. And they'll give you a list of people you can contact in the area. Usually there in this area plenty of alumni from different colleges, and you meet with this alumni. The other one is you request it during the summer and have on-campus interview, meaning you actually go to the campus, take a campus tour, and have an interview done by the admission people. And that's the best one to do because you get to know the college. They don't have the application yet. They don't know who you are. All they know is you're interested in their college. They usually give you good tips on what kind of student they're looking for that particular year. Not all colleges give that interview, but there are many in Southern California in particular that gives on-campus pre-application interviews. Okay? And we do give preparations because I want you to go in being prepared. There are certain sets of questions you should be prepared to ask, set of questions you should be prepared to answer.
I have a question about community service. How long you need to prepare, what kind of community service should the student prepare?
Okay, community service, you're, like Mr. Johnson said, volunteering your time. Anything is okay as long as you're doing it for the people and you're not getting paid. So, best thing is to do it for established non-profit organization because that way colleges would not doubt that you did it. So, let's say organization for special needs families, second food harvest. But the trick is to do it continuously. You keep going to that place and hopefully you would get promoted to a better position as you do it 1 year, 2 years, and hopefully you will be the leader of a high school group. That happens to many students and that would be a very good thing to include. So the type of volunteer you are going to be doing doesn't really matter, but I would like you to have a combination of one thing that is related to what you want to do in college, your subject area. Best way to do is to tutor, TA, or get paid and be a tutor. That's one way to do it. If you like English, maybe you can go to a public library and be an assistant for leading classes for children. If you like math, there are plenty of math centers where you can actually get paid and tutor students. If you're under 14, that's a little difficult. So 9th graders, the chances are limited. But past 10th grade, there are plenty of opportunities so we can sit down and discuss what would work for your schedule and for your interest.
Do you have a limitation of hours? How many hours you have to reach?
The more the better. I would like to see 50 to 100 each year. Some students do it by volunteering a little bit each week. Some students do it intensively during the summer. Either one's okay, whatever works for your schedule. When you fill out your application form, at the end, everything put together, hours, volunteer, extracurricular activities, working, put together, passes 4,500 hours. That's the point where they start thinking, okay, did he really do it? Did she really do it? But other than that, you can have as many as you want.
I'm sorry, what was that number?
4,500.
Hours in 1 year?
No, 2 years, 2 years. That's about 25 hours a week outside of school, yeah.
Quite a lot.
That's a lot unless you're doing something very intensively during the summer. That's why if you have nothing during the summer on your application form and you have all these, they start wondering. Right?
How about scholarship?
There are two types of scholarship, merit-based scholarship and FAFSA or other types of financial aid. So merit-based scholarship is no strings attached. Schools give it to you. Of course, you have to have a good GPA. But there are things like leadership scholarship, something related to your talent. Now, although many colleges now do not require SAT, SAT is national standard for your school's GPA. It's only based on a school GPA. So some school GPA is inflated. If you come from Buena Vista, it's very difficult to get 4.0 taking AP classes. But if you come from other high schools, maybe it's not as difficult to get 4.0. So it's not fair to compare two students just based on GPA because high school is different. Now SAT is national-based test. So getting high scores on SAT or ACT is the best way to qualify for merit-based scholarship. And there's also pre-SAT that you take in 11th grade. If you take pre-SAT in 11th grade and score high, and also you are using SAT score to qualify to get into college, then you will qualify for national merit scholarship that pays for a substantial amount of your college tuition. So you want to be prepared for pre-SAT in 11th grade. No more questions? Okay.